You can't trust the central banks anymore. They're going to have to print money like there is no tomorrow, and the budget deficits in the US, in my opinion, as Morgan Stanley says, they could go up next year to, say, $2 trillion. My estimate would be between $1.5 trillion to $2 trillion. But then, as far as the eye can see, it will stay at $1 trillion or more. And that will weaken the credit rating of the US eventually and cause some indigestion in the government bond market. Well, the US essentially should already be a junk bond because you have all these unfunded liabilities that are coming up over the next 20, 30 years. So I don't think that it should be rated as a AAA or trade the way it does trade. But coming back to the bonds market, I think at the moment, in my opinion, more attractive than equities are actually corporate bonds because they got hit very hard, and not every company will be forced to the wall. Say here in Asia, we had our depression 97, 98 when everything collapsed, and I mean big time. That was also an oversold position. And now, because the banks in Asia, they didn't deal so much in this toxic paper. Some reason was that most bankers in Asia didn't understand it in the first place, so they didn't touch it. And so the banks actually in Asia are quite sound. Say you go to a Thai bank, the Singapore banks are rock solid. Yeah. So I think if you touch financials, I would stick to, say, the Asian financials that have already had the crisis behind them. They have deleveraged. What I object to all the bailout plans in the Western world is they do not address the fundamental problem. And the fundamental problem is over-leverage. That the economy debt to GDP has grown from 130% in 1980 to 350% at the present time, and that this leverage has been under the supervision of the Federal Reserve and the Treasury and everybody actually encouraged by encouraged. And that has to be brought down. Absolutely. And the $250 billion into the banking system, this is a drop of water on a hot stone. It's meaningless.
It's not going to do much.